Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, February 26th, 2019. My name's Jeremy. Hold on, I got this. And this, here's my first cup of coffee. Guys, it's cold. It's 7 degrees outside. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. My house is out into this little valley in Vermont. Oh, it's almost too cold to have my hood off. And it is often several degrees colder in this little stretch than in the rest of the surrounding area, which can be really nice in the summer, not as nice in the winter. Although it does take a little bit longer for it to get cold through the fall. We get a little bit, we stay a little bit warmer for a few days, sometimes a couple weeks. Microclimate is, I believe, what they call it. Yeah, had a pretty productive day yesterday. Even did a little bit of work last night. Just kind of had some thoughts running around my head. I talked yesterday about the speed kicking program that I'm developing, and I put some time into that, into what needed to happen to get that done. I'll do some more reviewing on that, and might even put up a little bit of material, might even put up some pre-registration for that. Probably not today, but it should happen soon. Yesterday's episode with Sensei Liam Murphy is going well. People are enjoying that. Got some great feedback on it. I have an interview scheduled for today with someone who's been on a fair amount of television and movies. It's a name you may not recognize, but if I gave you the list of credits, you would. So, obviously not going to give away who that is, because that's not what we do. But, martial arts radio. It's a good time. Coming up on 400 episodes. Blowing my mind. And the show continues to grow. You know, I don't know. I have fun doing it. People have fun listening. Might as well keep going, right? So what should we talk about today? Let's talk about... I'm thinking about what's going on in my life right now, because that's always the best stuff to talk about. The things that are relevant to me. Unless you write in things to talk about that are relevant to you, which nobody's done the last couple days. So I got nothing. I could make up questions. I'll do that. What could I make up? What do I think about Here's one for you. Okay, I got it. I got this. Okay. Most schools have some kind of sparring combat, whatever. Whether it's, the intensity and intended realism of something like a Krav Maga, or if it's, some schools don't even have sparring that makes contact. Almost every school, almost every person, when they consider that, they realize, hey, if I want to get better, I have to have better endurance for it. The problem is, almost everybody trains for it wrong. You cannot train for a 60-second or 2-minute fight round or 30-second confrontation on the street by doing 60 minutes of running. You know why? Because it works the body in a completely different way. It's a completely different adaptation. There are actually different energy systems in the body that apply for different lengths of time and different intensity levels. So you can't do it. How do you train for that? By training in a similar time and intensity window. If you want to get better at a 2-minute fight, you want to go all out at whatever pace you can handle for 2 minutes. Not all out for 30 seconds and then dragging butt for 90, because that's just going to get you better at being good for 30 seconds. Whether that means you have a heart rate monitor or you just kind of check your ego. Maybe you're, let's take something like burpees, because burpees are nice and easy to think about in this kind of a way. Let's say I can do, we'll use easy math, 10 burpees in a minute. The moment I go to 11 burpees in a minute, I can't go past a minute. I die, okay? I would be looking for whatever pace, whatever number of burpees I could do that is very hard for 30 seconds and continue that all the way through 2 minutes. You're trying to keep that intensity level steady. This is a concept that doesn't happen too often in martial arts, at least in instruction, but yet we have it everywhere. If you referee forms competition, you notice when someone's form starts out great and then drops off as they get tired. There are entire fight strategies where people try to wear the other person out at the beginning using as little energy as possible so they can be rested and capitalize on that. So let's say in 30 seconds I can do 5 burpees. I need to do 5 burpees every 30 seconds for that 2 minutes. And then let's say it's a fight format where I get a minute off. I take that minute off and then I do, 5 more burpees every 30 seconds. And it has to be in that window. You have to break it down that way. In fact, you should be looking at it ideally with some kind of clock, some kind of metronome every, 5 every 30 seconds. That's a burpee every 6 seconds. I need to be doing a burpee every 6 seconds. And in order to progress, I need to be looking at shaving that time from 6 seconds down to 5 seconds. Through the entirety of that round, ideally all of the rounds that I'm doing. Here's the problem with the other way that people coach this and train this. And the reason I'm thinking about this is because of the speed training stuff I was working on last night. If I take a 2-minute round and I train myself to be really fast for 30 seconds, I go all out, and then I spend 90 seconds trying not to fall over, I'm potentially training myself to be slower because I'm spending more of my time in that slower space. This happens all the time, and you see this all the time. You see people who have been training in this way for 5-10 years, people who have no reason to not get better at this stuff, but it's the way they train. It's because we don't understand our training methods versus how they apply to our body. Human body's an amazing machine when it comes to adapting. It's very efficient. It will do as little as possible because that's good for survival. So if you say, hey, be really hard for 30 seconds and kind of slow for 90, I'll say, okay, that works. And you get really good for about 30 seconds, which, guess what? That's one of the energy pathways. It's not phosphogenic. I believe that's the phosphogenic pathway. Yeah, there's some nerdy science going on here. So think about it. If you teach other people, if you're an instructor, and you start doing conditioning, take a look at what you are conditioning them to be better at. There's very little we do in martial arts that requires that kind of long, slow distance, like a 9-minute mile. It's all fast-paced, sprint type stuff. And our training should reflect that. If you're a student and you're frustrated with this, if you want better conditioning? Well, you got a couple things you could do. You could go to your instructor and try to educate them. Not often a great idea. It requires a pretty special instructor-student relationship for that to go over well. Or you can work this on your own in such a way that the next time you're doing, let's say, 2 minutes, you've had enough training on your own to know how to pace yourself to hit that high intensity, but one that you can maintain for 2 minutes. And it's another training repetition. So there you go. Hopefully some new information for you, and hopefully some actionable information. Don't forget, we do this show every weekday morning here on YouTube, 6:30 Eastern, and you can find it on podcasts, platforms, pretty much everywhere. Have a great day. Take care.